Hello guys, today we are going to do the lab of virtual router redundancy protocol in FortiGate Firewall. So VRRP comes under IP services and it is basically used for automatic gateway failure. So I think most of the my subscribers will be knowing that what is VRRP. Okay, what VRRP does? VRRP basically when we configure VRRP. Okay, if for example I'm having two WAN devices and I'm having my L3 gateway configured on the both the devices, but I want a specific gateway only to be acting as active, okay, for that specific VLAN users, then in that case I can use VRRP. VRRP basically defines a virtual IP address, and whenever DHCP server will give IP address to the LAN users, it will give the virtual IP, which is the actual IP which will be configured on the VRRP configuration on the WAN device. Okay, and the traffic will basically go from LAN towards that virtual IP gateway on the router who is presently master for that VRRP group. Okay, so VRRP basically comes on a multicast IP address. Okay, the multicast IP address is 224.0.0.18 and the protocol number is 112. It neither uses TCP or UDP. Okay, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to configure the L3 gateways on this both the FortiGate firewalls for this IT department users and sales department users, and I will configure VRRP on FortiGate firewall. So what we will do, this will be in VLAN 10, these users will be in VLAN 10, all the traffic will come over here, and this router will be the VRRP master for VLAN 10 users. And for these users, this router will be the master for sales department. So let's proceed how we are going to do with the configuration. First of all, let me on the switch. I will do the basic configuration on the switch. VLAN 10, name IT, VLAN 20, and name sales. Now what I'll do, interface range gig 0 slash 0 slash 1 switch port trunk encapsulation dot 1q switch port mode trunk. Now I will configure these users in VLAN 10 and these users will be in VLAN 20. Switch port access VLAN 10 and these users will be in VLAN 20. Okay, sorry, by mistakenly I've been VLAN 20 over here. Actually, this user will be in VLAN 10 only. I'm sorry. Similarly, let me go into the gig. Okay, we are done with the switch configuration. Okay, so if I check show spanning tree, this switch will be the root bridge. Okay, all the ports are in designated mode. Okay, these are still in learning mode because they are still coming up. Okay, now what I'll do, I will go into the FortiGate one. I have done the configuration for the WAN. Okay, this is my WAN and I have connected it to my home internet. So this is my default route. I will go into interface and I will create sub interfaces. I will give them name as IT and it will be a sub interface. So basically it is a router and stick model concept when it comes to Cisco. So same concept will be over here. Port 2 will be our interface. VLAN ID will be 10 and IP address will be 10.1.1.1/24. Okay. I want HTTPS, SSH and ping. Now, here is the tricky part. Okay. So 10.1.1 is my interface IP. But I want to configure this user as a 10.1.BRRP master. Okay. So I will exclude the IP address which is 10.1.1.3. It is basically my VRRP IP address, and 10.1.1.2 will be the L3 interface which will be configured over here in terms of if this router fails, then it will go over here. Okay. So 10.1.1.4. And what is the default gateway? So my default gateway will be 10.1.1.3, which will be my virtual IP address while doing the VRRP configuration. Okay. I'll just click on OK now. Sub interface has been created. Now I will create sales. I will create 20.1.1.1. Okay. Similar concept will be over here, guys. It's CP server 4 and it will be 3. Okay. 2 will be configured over here. Click on OK. Pretty much simple. Now what I will do before showing you the VRRP configuration, first of all I will configure the firewall policies. Okay, what I will do, I will do the configuration of the firewalls. After that I will do the VRRP configuration. It will be more easy for you guys to understand. Okay, I don't want any fancy name. I don't want my video to be, get extended unnecessarily. I will be quick, guys. I respect your time. Service will be all sessions. Similarly, I will create 2 for the sales users. Okay. On sales address, destination will be all. Okay, guys. Now I will move towards this firewall. Here also I have done the basic configuration. I have given the static route. I will give interface IT port 2. Here address will be 10.1.1.2/24. Okay. This is not required. Click on OK. Why this is over here? I don't want this to happen. Okay. Now I will create the firewall policies. Okay. Now we will do the VRRP configuration. Okay. I will go into the firewall, config system interface, and which port I want to edit. Okay. I will go for IT, which is the sub interface. Set VRRP virtual Mac enable. I'm enabling the virtual Mac over here. First of all. Okay. Config VRRP. Edit one. Okay. Set VRRP group. I will give it as a name. You can see number is there. Okay. You can give any number. I will give number 20. Okay. Set VRRP. You can see VRRP. Okay. What will be the VRIP? We just go over here. What we have defined in our DHCP server. See. This is my default gateway. So this will be my VRRP IP. Set priority. By default priority is 100, but I want this for sales users, for VLAN 10 users. I want this FortiGate firewall to be master. So I will give the priority as 150. Okay. Set version. You can define the version. There are two versions. I will give two. Okay. And that's how you configure VRRP. Okay. Apart from that, you can by default enable preemption, but as far as my knowledge, preemption is by default enable. But then also I will enable. Okay. I want a SLA, so I will give a virtual destination. Okay. And that's all, guys. That's all. Similarly, I will go for next. I can configure for another interface. Okay. Config system interface. Edit. Sales. Set virtual Mac. Set VRRP. Okay, guys. And config VRRP. Edit one. So for sales users, I don't want this router to be the what I can say, the master router. Okay. So I will do the basic configuration. Set VRRP group as 20. Okay. Set VRIP as 20.1.1.3. Okay, because I have defined the same in the default gateway in the DHCP server. And apart from that, other things are common, guys. Okay. Set priority. I will keep the priority as 100 only. I will keep the set version as 2. Set preemption enable. Set virtual destination. And that's all. That's all. Apart from that, nothing is needed. Okay. Now what I'll do, I think I'm done. Get router info VRRP. As of now, both the routers are master. Okay. This secondary router still is in backup state. It will come up. As of now, it is also master. So hello timer is 1 second and dead timer is 3 seconds in VRRP. Okay. So this router is having the 150 priority, which is greater than the default priority, which is 100. And this router is having the default priority. Okay. So for the VLAN 10 users, all the traffic will be come over here because the virtual IP will become active just because this router is the master router. Okay, but for VLAN 20 users which are in sales department, for this subnet users, I want this router to be this firewall to be active. Okay, so what I will do for sales department, I will keep the VRRP priority as 150 over here. Okay, I don't want to do extra configuration now. What I will do, I will do some smart work. Edit. Okay, I will go into edit IT and I will choose show. I will click on notepad. Okay, and 10.1.1.2. Okay, I will keep it as it is. I don't want to give any priority. It will be by default. Okay, and that's all. Okay, let me just recheck the IP address over here. 10.1.1.2. Okay, so let's go over here and just paste it. So what if, just a question guys, what if the priority is same, then who will take the decision? Higher IP address in that neighborship. Okay, so here if I kept the priority same, then all the traffic will by default be active over here because it is having the higher IP address. Say for example here it is 10.1.1.1, here it will be 10.1.1.2. Okay, now exit. You have to go over here, edit, sales, show 1.1.2. Okay, here some part we have to do, that will be set VRRP priority. So I will give higher priority over here because for VLAN 20 users, I want the second FortiGate firewall to be acting as the active gateway. Okay, so let's copy and paste it over here. Okay, now we are done with the configuration, guys. I will show you the magic now. Now if I check get router info VRRP. See for VLAN 10 users, this router is master. Okay, the first router, this one. Okay, and for VLAN 20 users, this router is the backup. And this router will be backup for VLAN 10 users, and this router will be primary as a master for the sales department users for VLAN 20 users. Okay, so let's check this, guys. What we will do, I will on these PCs so that all the traffic from this user should go via this router, and all the traffic for this users, VLAN 20 users, should go from this router. Okay, I will on only one PC. I will give IP DHCP. See, it's there. Okay, this has also got an IP address, but it has got a virtual IP address, the virtual gateway. Now the point over here is that on which on which L3 device the virtual gateway is active. Okay, this is the virtual IP 10.1.1.3 which this user has got in VLAN 10, and this is the 20.1.1.3 which this user has got, which is active over here 20.1.1.3. Now let's perform a trace route. Okay, before that I will just show you the interface. I want to show you something. So whenever you perform a trace route, okay, in VRRP or in HSRP, okay, it will never show you the virtual IP address in the trace route. It will always show you the physical interface IP address. Okay, this might be an interview question, guys. So please make a note of this. I will give a trace. My bad. Okay, it is giving this. It is using this part 10.1.1.1. Okay, which is over here. Now, if I check for this user, 20.1.1.2. Okay, 20.1.1.2 is not over here, it is over here. Okay, so by doing the manipulation in the master election of VRRP, we can define our traffic so that we can tell our internal LAN users they will use which gateway. Okay, okay, I can use both this like both the department users active on this FortiGate firewall, but I have not done that. It is kind of load balancing. Okay, like we are having both the firewalls, right? Why to usually send all the traffic to one firewall only? I will do load balancing. Okay, so that both the links can get utilized. Okay, it's not about links. It is basically manipulation in the LAN traffic. Okay, and that's all. It was a quite simple video. Okay, if you have any doubt, you just ping down in the comment. I will resolve your doubts. Thank you, guys.